to the only podcast that will not tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. The truth. You're going to hear the facts when it comes to politics, business, finance, and world events and how they affect you. You will be armed with the information that you need in order to make better decisions and become more successful. This is Primal Truth. And now your hosts, Edward Lynch Sr. and Aaron Scanlon. Primal. All right, welcome to the second episode, well, the third episode. It's
third episode.
Yeah, but it's episode 2 because the first one is called episode 0. So it's
That's a thing.
It is a thing. It totally is a thing. And I'm Edward Lynch Sr. and
Aaron Scanlon.
Yep, and we are here doing the thing that we said we were not going to do, which is we were not going to talk about politics right away, and we're going to try to ease into that.
Slowly just kind of creep in there. And
not be partisan and not, but because the truth doesn't know left or right. Unfortunately, politicians on both left and right don't know the truth. Or maybe they do know the truth and they don't give a crap.
They just don't want us to talk about it.
Yeah, so we are going to jump in, and I am sure we're going to piss people off. And so I'm very excited about that. It's kind of a superpower that I have, apparently. And so let's just kind of jump right into it. Politics, it's nothing other than those guys in Washington, D.C. who got their asses kicked every single day. And in high school, now they're politicians, are very important people.
Very, very important.
And they have no clue what they're doing. Oh, we could talk about attorneys. I do not like attorneys. And their business model sucks. And most politicians are attorneys.
Most of them are, actually. There's a huge number of politicians that were attorneys.
Yeah. And you know what? The attorney's business model. These guys handle our money. And their business model is, we're going to not tell you what the outcome of what we're going to do for you is. And we're going to let you keep paying in advance for that untold outcome, perhaps, maybe. And if you either run out of money or we're done, then whatever outcome there is the outcome.
That's where it is. It ends right there at that moment.
And so, and they're famous saying, well, you're going to pay more than you want to pay, and they're going to have to pay less than they want to pay, or whatever it is. I mean, it's literally the stupidest thing ever. And so the business model is great for them. They don't have to promise anything. And they get, they get paid.
Well, it's like the ticket clinic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest sham.
That is huge.
You're going to pay the same amount of money that you would pay anyways. And if most people just understood that they can just go to court and actually say, hey, you know what? I'll pay the fine, but just don't put any points on my license. I can't have the points thing.
Yeah.
The magistrate will say, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
More than likely. Unless you've got like a huge record of just being a complete douche canoe of a driver, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And it's amazing. People just really don't get that. I mean, I've actually represented myself, and they always say if you represent yourself, you have a fool for a client. And it very well may be the case, but I was, knock on wood, very successful at doing that. And it's because I cared about my case more than attorneys. So anyway, if they can divide us, they can win.
100%.
And so that's what these guys do. And then the other thing, it's all about money.
They're very good at doing that.
Yeah.
They're very good at doing that.
Well, keep in mind, it's not their money.
No.
It's our money that they want to make their money.
Right.
So this is what they do. They sit there and they raise
politicians,
millions.
not attorneys. Everybody knows where we're going. Where we're
scumbag. I mean, whatever. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I mean, it's literally like the same thing. And so these guys, you raise a bunch of money to run for office for a job that pays $174,900 a year. Then you claim how poverty-stricken you are because you're making $180,000 a year, $175,000 a year.
How can you live in Washington, D.C. only $180,000 a year?
Well, no. How could you live in both places? Which you're not supposed to. You're supposed to go home every weekend. And there are some that do. Chuck Grassley, amazing politician. I had lunch with him one day, and we're going to bring some of these guys in. It's going to be great fun. But I had lunch with him, and do you know, he said there's been no times where he has missed a Sunday service at his home church with his wife. No times.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. And there's been only a couple of times that he's had to miss votes. And so I asked him flat out, I'm like, geez, Chuck, what the hell, bro? I mean, you know, you're traveling a lot.
How are
and
you doing
everything.
this? And how can nobody else do this?
More than how, I said why. If no one else is doing it, why would you do